This is the Mount Nebo Creek. It surrounds most of the Fairhaven School campus. It's where most students come during the day to play. On this episode of Circle of Education, we follow Alistair, who made the decision to attend Fairhaven School.
I really did not like school, and most of the kids in the school didn't like me. My name is Alistair, A-L-L-I-S-T-E-R. I got good grades at the cost of all of my time. I had no time to hang out with friends or do anything I wanted. Doing schoolwork just took up my entire day. And that didn't seem very productive to me as a little kid. I wanted to draw, I wanted to play with my friends. So I started to look into other options of schooling. After months of trying to convince my parents, my mother brought me to a tour at both the schools, and I finally got enrolled in a visiting week. After the whole summer of holding it over my head, she let me go here.
I was amazed. He wrote us a 2-page essay on why we should let him go here, and it didn't focus on the no homework and no tests. It was pretty impressive. My son has been here since 6th grade, so this is his 7th year. He loves it. He's involved in everything. He's involved in every play. He's held every office there is, and he's been on the hiring committee and has interviewed staff members.
Mark McCaig, M-A-R-K, M-C-C-A-I-G. I'm one of the founders of Fairhaven School. I am a staff member and I'm the admissions director.
It took years before the doors ever opened. The idea was simple but radical. What if school didn't separate students by age? What if learning wasn't controlled but trusted? The campus stretches across 12 acres, half forest, half open space. Here, childhood looks the way it was meant to, exploring the woods, following curiosity, and learning through experience.
People at public school didn't like me. They thought I was weird and quiet. The only times I talked were about science and art, and that wasn't really a thing. Luckily, that's a thing here. I'm very glad that I don't have to trim my felting stone. Actually, trimming's really fun, but getting it centered is nigh impossible. Man. He made a robot! Oh. What? Wait, did you paint that? Explain your process, please.
I painted, so I did the gesso to prep it, and then I sketched out Conan, and then I did the background trying to avoid the sketch as much as possible. Then I did the white base, then I did the red, then I did the wishbone, then I did the red. And then I did all the shading in sections.
I thought that was screen printed.
Sudbury Valley School is in Framingham, Massachusetts, which is suburban Boston, and they started in 1968. And they kind of invented a style of schooling, and so we call ourselves a Sudbury School after that. The core elements of a Sudbury School is that the students are very independent.
I like the freedom that I have here, and I like how we all have a say in what happens here. We all have equal rights, which is amazing here.
I was always struggling with things that I was forced to learn or that I just wasn't interested in, but here I had the freedom to kind of choose what I learned.
I feel like in public school, I didn't make a lot of friends. I felt almost like a background character of my own life. And so when I came here, I expected the same thing. I didn't really think I would have someone I talked to every day. I didn't think I'd be part of something, I guess, in that way. This is my emotional support Italian. I think we're really close. I never expected to have such a close friend when I came here, especially make someone I feel like is my lifelong best friend. So I mean, every day I come here and we're together.
After visiting Sudbury Valley School in the mid-1990s, the possibility became real. School could look different. It could feel different. In 1998, that idea took shape here in Maryland with the opening of Fairhaven School.
Because of the nature of our program, we contacted the Board of Education in the 90s and said, hey, these are our credentials. We were a bunch of educators, and we shared information about Sudbury Valley School and so on, but the Department of Ed hadn't heard of anything like that before. And they gave us a lovely letter that said, that sounds very interesting, but because we don't have a sequential and linear curriculum, they wouldn't certify us as a school. However, because Maryland has pretty robust separation of church and state, they said if you can get a church to sponsor the school, then you're good to go.
Nearly 3 decades later, the vision hasn't changed, only deepened.
We do not hand students a curriculum or a schedule for their day. Instead, they choose how they spend their time. The other really key part of the school is that it's a democratic school, and that's a small d, not a political party, but it's a school that is governed by the weekly school meeting. And think of school meeting as like town meeting. Because they were in New England, a lot of the local towns there manage themselves, right? So there's a town meeting, and school meeting makes all the rules of the school and decides who's going to work here, decides if someone should have a consequence like a suspension. And at school meeting, a person like myself, a staff member, and a student has the same vote.
January 16th at 12:20 in the new building hallway upstairs. Sign-in hall, thank you. Lars wrote up Wesley and apparently Zane. Wesley took the solder sucker? Solder sucker.
Mm-hmm.
And
Do you want to read it up here?
All right,
I moved the table. Oh, okay.
Second. All right, any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of tabling for Luca and Anthony? That is all opposed, abstaining. That passes.
Every system is designed with care, from kitchens and music studios to the forest itself. Students are certified before access, not as a restriction, but as preparation.
I wanted something better and different for my own kids. And Fairhaven has given us the space to have better and different. Having taught in Prince George's County, I know that the resources are not always there, and when they are there, they're not always easily available. I taught general and special education. I know, I experienced what things were like for class sizes. A lot of times the kids who needed more attention, they could not get it. It just not because the teacher didn't care, it just was not possible. My guys are, they're brilliant, okay? They're brilliant. They're smart dudes, they're funny.
I've low-key been thinking about being a comedian. Don't know if there are any classes for that at UMD, but yeah. Fairhaven School doesn't focus on math and mathematics and stuff, but most of your life isn't going to be focused on mathematics. It's going to be focused on how you interact with people, problem solving. That's what we don't really focus on here, but that's what I've learned in my time here.
In 10 years, the land will be fully owned, the foundation secured, so Fairhaven can continue doing what it's always done, creating space where young people are safe, trusted, and free to become who they are.
Where I'd like to see Fairhaven is just more solid, more stable, a steady student base, and hopefully we will be seen as a resource for other people. Because there always are groups around the world and around the nation who are hearing about this kind of schooling, and it kind of makes sense to them. So we like to think of ourselves at this point. We're not Sudbury Valley, but we have been here for long enough to be able to share what we're doing. So hopefully to be an example for folks.